Josh and Rosemary Jones here. We live in the Delta neighborhood. And
we have a tiny house and very limited space. But we're going to show you a little bit of what we have going on in one of our rooms here where we create a lot of our art. And here we go.
All right. So in our little 1,200 square foot home, we have this little office space that we all share. Josh's work at home during the day space, plus video games for the rest of us in the evening. This is my little art desk. We're also currently sharing it with our daughter who's doing school from home. And we have a nice window at least, so that's handy.
This is my watercolor and printmaking desk. And we have some more shelving and random art pieces.
It's a little hodgepodge collection of stuff. Kind of our little creative space of goodness. All right, there you go.
A little while ago, we took a class at Shack Art Center on printmaking, and it kind of sparked some creativity in me, and I was really excited to see what I could do at home. And so I kind of took what I learned and I made a simple little printing press. It's very rudimentary, very inaccurate, but that's kind of the fun of it. And I just wanted to show how you can just kind of make your own tools to create art, and there's really no rules to it. But here I have this wooden contraption here with some basic hinges, and I ended up drawing lines to show where my jelly plates are going to go and where my paper is going to line up. And I end up painting on this jelly plate, and then using this press to align it and press it on. And the result is very inaccurate and kind of a surprise every time, but I think it's a delight. It's a lot of fun to do. I sometimes will take figure drawings and apply them to here in multiple layers and then see what I get out of it. So here are a few figure drawing examples that I created with this homemade press. I really love the imperfections that come out of it. The misalignments are kind of a joy to me. One thing I love about watercolor painting is I can create impressionist scenes of locations that I love, and it kind of conveys a sense of mystery, maybe a sense of story. You feel like there's a moment in time captured there, and some of it may be made up and out of my own head, but all of it is kind of based on my imagination of my experiences in these locations. And I also like to apply the same kind of thing to the human figure and kind of create paintings that are creative representations of the human form. It's a lot of fun for me. Photography is a big passion of mine, and I take my camera with me everywhere I go, and I probably take thousands of photos, but the art process for me is choosing which photos to print. I like to have some layers in my photos, and by layers I mean like there's something behind the image, something that might tell a story. It might not be readily apparent to every viewer, but at least I know something is there. And these are some good examples of those types of things where I feel like there's depth to the image, and it's might be an extraordinary scene by itself, but there's also more to it. Whether it's an owl on a street light at sunset at Legion Park, or this moon rising over the Cascades during wildfire season. In this example, the wildfire smoke, poses health risks, but also can create beauty with these pinks and purple hues at sunset. The waterfront here in Everett is just stunning, especially at sunset as well. We also have beautiful sunrises over the Cascades, and I just love to see how the atmosphere lights up sometimes just for moments, and you catch these beautiful rays coming down over the mountains. And even the scenes that are minimalistic, kind of like this one at Jetty Island, I just love. I feel like there's more behind it, even if you don't know the story. And the background is I took this during the solar eclipse, and we were out there. Nobody else was out there, and the tide was way out, and the sunlight was beginning to dim, and it was just kind of a surreal feeling that I had out there. And I turned around and captured this picture of Jetty Island, and to me it's just a beautiful gradient from fog to blue sky, and seeing the texture of the tide pools out there. It's just a gorgeous beach that I think a lot of people end up missing. Choosing the surface to print on is a big part of the art process for me as well. This Jetty Island picture has a linen finish to it. It's kind of a nice texture. I feel like it kind of matches the scene. And other pictures I might print on high gloss. In these cases, this is printed on a metallic surface, and just the contrast and the vibrant colors really stand out.
So this is my little art desk in our office. We don't really have like a formal studio necessarily. We live in a little 1,200 square foot craftsman style home, and we all share space. We have a 9-year-old daughter as well, so this is kind of our little office workspace that is also both of us create art here and play video games in this room and all sorts of home family kind of stuff. So I have a little desk by a table here that I really love, and it's cozy and light. I have transitioned away. I did ink and watercolor and things like that for a number of years, and really loved it, and always kind of shunned digital art. It wasn't attractive to me at all. The thought of like sitting at a computer with a mouse just didn't feel intuitive to me. And then probably about almost 3 years ago or so, I treated myself to an iPad and the Apple Pencil, and that changed everything for me. So almost all of my work has been exclusively done digitally since then. And I typically just the nice thing about the iPad is I can like go anywhere with it, right? Like, so I can sit on my couch, I can sit upstairs in my bed. But I do try to like kind of sit at my desk for the most part, and just work away at whatever project I have going on. I do a lot of artwork for myself. I also really enjoy doing commissions for other people. For me, it just kind of feels like an assignment. Somebody tells me what they want me to draw, and I just enjoy fulfilling those assignments. So I know that's not for everybody. Not everybody loves doing that sort of thing. So, but for me, it's a good fit. So I'll walk you through a little tour of the particular app that I use on my iPad here. So the app that I use primarily is called Procreate. It's a raster-based digital art app. The developers are out of Australia, and I've found that they are just really delightful to work with, and I really enjoy using this app. I've been using it for probably 2.5, 3 years now, and it's my go-to for everything. I do a lot of personal work, but I also do a lot of commissions, and I really enjoy that. It just works really well for my schedule and the way that my brain works. I kind of enjoy them as little like art assignments, so to speak. So the cool thing about Procreate is I can have like tons of work on here, and some of the stuff is just kind of personal doodles for therapeutic reasons, kind of pandemic sort of abstract things that have helped me. I did these little cards. These are little coloring cards that are 5x7 that I just got done being printed, and I'm in the process of shipping out, and I just kind of had some fun like coloring them digitally as well. So there's a few different kind of fun things happening here. Let's see what else is on here. There's just a whole bunch of stuff. I did this little project for one Everett. Oh, my cat likes to be a part of it too. I don't know if you caught that in the video. She's just walking across my desk. The little graphics and coloring pages and posters and things like that for one Everett. That was a fun project too that kind of helped breathe a little bit of life into me in the situation that we're in the midst of. But again, the thing that I really like about Procreate is there's a lot of like freedom I find in digital art, and I have the ability to kind of like play with color and shape and sort of like take risks and things that I didn't necessarily do before in ink and watercolor. Just for me personally, I think I felt like too much anxiety making changes on top of things and felt like I was gonna kind of wreck what I had just spent like 12 hours of. And so I feel like with digital art, there's so much more flexibility and forgiveness there. And so it's really easy to just kind of like mess around and play with color and play with shape and delete things and undo things, and you don't necessarily lose a ton of time and work on things. The little coloring book for historic Everett, that was delightful too. I really enjoy doing stuff like that. So all of this work I'm able to do right here in Procreate. The most recent project that I have been working on has been a lot of fun. This little monster alphabet project. There's this old song from the 40s called "Hey, You're Adorable," and it's a song that my grandmother used to sing to me when I was tiny, and I think somewhere my parents have an audio of me singing it to my dad when I was like 3. Now I sing it to my daughter all the time. So it's this old classic song, and I've always wanted to illustrate it, but I could never really like figure out what style I wanted to do. So now I'm just kind of going through and making little monster letters. I really enjoy lettering a lot, so it's been kind of fun to like kind of be a little bit playful and silly with it and figure out ways to like play with the lyrics of the words and make these little letters into creatures and monsters. I have a daughter who's 9, and so she definitely influences my work a lot. Being a mom takes up a lot of brain space and energy, and so kind of her silliness and sense of humor comes through a lot in my work. She definitely inspires me. So this is just kind of a series that I've been slowly working through, taking my time with, and really enjoying. Okay, you're so kissable. There's L. So I am gonna show you the process really quick. I'll speed up the video of like how I would do one of these little alphabet letters. So I have this little letter builder grid that I've purchased from another Instagram letterer that's come in handy. It's just kind of a nice basic starting point for building all the letters. And then I can go in and fill in with color, which again, with digital, I can just kind of adjust however I want and play with different colors and tones and things, change the size of things. Didn't really know what I was doing with this M. I don't know, maybe M for mummy, kind of changing things up a little bit. And use a clipping mask, so that erased all the extra little excess pink lines on there, but then kind of wanted to go back and add a little bit of texture to make it look like it was actually wrapping around the M. And I love playing with shadows, so I always do shadows. Brought the little eyes in, moved those around, give it a little backdrop and some light and shadow just to play with it. It's just a quick and dirty little monster M to start with.
Thank you so much for joining us in our tiny little studio.
We hope this was entertaining, maybe, just to join us in a very humble little space. When Abby had put out kind of the all call for artists to do a studio tour, at first I was like, well, we don't have a studio, we're not doing that. But one thing that she mentioned in her email was that if you do art at your kitchen table, you're an artist. So I thought that that was really encouraging, because I did art at my kitchen table for years and years. So if anything, maybe our tiny little space will encourage you that if you're doing art, doesn't matter the location or how fancy your studio is, you're still an artist. So thank you.
Goodbye.